Good morning, everybody. I hope your Thursday is off to a great start. Meteorologist Jaret Lansford here to help guide you through the next 15 minutes or so on where we're having any issues with our morning commute. And we do have a few spots that are struggling a little bit. Most roads are actually doing pretty well in the early going, but there's a couple of things we need to highlight. And I think we'll go ahead and get started here by looking at 72nd and L. Now, I did give you a first alert to this yesterday and a couple days before that this would be coming, but we have some lane restrictions have been added to that area of 72nd and L Street. Let me move this map a little bit so you can see a little better what I'm talking about. Oop, wrong way. So this is what we're looking at, and it's in the approach to L Street, that intersection getting reconstructed, and we already had delays with head-to-head one-lane traffic on L Street. Well, now we have that on 72nd Street as well, and this is going to be there for the foreseeable future. So you can see all of the delays that are showing up all the way back past Q with some slow traffic, and give you a little bit of an idea of what kind of speeds you can expect through the stretch. You're seeing a lot of 5 to 10 mile per hour estimated speed. So pretty much just kind of stop and go traffic is what you're looking at through that stretch. And I could show you on the NDOT camera in that area what it's looking like. So there it is, and you can see the head-to-head traffic that's happening there. Going on that side there with the traffic. So right head-to-head, pretty slow. Things back up quite a bit when that light turns red. It's kind of the same story when you are on L Street. So both directions, whether you're going east-west or north-south, you're going to be running into those kind of delays here for the foreseeable future. So here's what it looks like on some of the surrounding roads. And when you're talking alternate routes, it gets a little complicated. And the reason being, even though it looks pretty good on 84th in that immediate area, a little slow as you get north of Q, you zoom out a little more and you remember that there's construction further south on 84th Street that's happening as well. So you're looking at some lane restrictions there too. So there's our one area that we were just talking about is up where all that red and orange is at the top of the screen. But then you also have some work that's happening down in this area. So as you get around Giles, you're running into some of those lane restrictions. So what may be your best option for just a straight path, if you're trying to go north or south, might be 96th Street. As you're going through that stretch, you can see that things are moving along in pretty decent shape. You don't really have much in the way of construction work that you're running into on that route. That may be your way to go here if you're trying to avoid kind of bobbing and weaving between 72nd and 84th to avoid construction spots. Aside from that, we do have a couple of other areas that are pretty slow. You can see 36th Highway 370 with some delays. I'm going to see if I can try to get you a camera view in that area. When we're doing these live streams, a lot of times we like to check in on different Nebraska DOT cameras, show you what it's looking like in those areas, and then you kind of have the visual alongside what's going on. So all right, well, I'll work on getting that for you. In the meantime, we'll talk about a couple of other spots where things are running slow. And that includes as you're going on Highway 6 in the area right around Pacific Street. So you're right around 204th here in Elkhorn. So right around there, Blue Sage Parkway, you've got quite the delays in both directions that are showing up. And it does frequently slow down around here as we get to this point in the commute, but maybe a little slower than usual today. So keep that in mind if you're going to be traveling in that part of the metro. Let's give you the full view of the commute, and you can see where we have some delays that are showing up as you are on JFK, really as you approach Q Street, really slowing down heading northbound, and those delays stretch back past Childs. So or to Childs, I should say. So watch for that being an area where we have some problems. And then also on Dodge Street, or Dodge Road, I should say. This is as you're approaching 144th. with things pretty slow back to 180th. So gonna work to get some visuals here. My access to the camera froze here, so we're getting back into it. Okay. So I think we'll start with the view on the JFK right around Q. That was where we were seeing some of those delays really lighting up. All right, we'll pull that camera up for you here. And the northbound traffic is coming towards you in this shot. So that's where you're seeing things kind of crawling on the JFK. Again, those delays stretch back past Chandler toward Childs. We'll watch this view for a little bit. So you're watching the JFK. This is right near Q Street, the Gilmore Bridge, where things are just slow in the early going. No crash, but you do have quite the backups in that area. We're going to move a little further to the west now. Let's check out a view on Dodge. Right around 168th is where I want to look. And then we'll watch this view with some slow travel in this area as well. This is an area that often gets delays right near the peak of the commute, and you could just see how much things are congested as you're getting past 168th. Lots of brake lights, people trying to merge in off of 168th to get onto Dodge, and just a slow go of it as you're trying to go eastbound. There are no reports of any crashes or anything. This is just all congestion with that trying to move toward downtown and further to the east from this area. Let's again take a look at the overall map, give you the view of where things are slow. And we've got a few of those areas that I'm watching. We were just looking at that red spot here near Dodge, or on Dodge, near 168th. Those delays stretch back past 180th. You've also got the JFK with some delays. A couple of spots on I-80 now starting to flare up with some slow traffic. One of those is approaching 72nd back toward 84th eastbound, and then also eastbound near L Street. So I'm going to get some views of NDOT cameras in those areas, see what we can find out as to maybe a reason why things are so slow in those spots. Let's start with I-80 around 80 or 72nd. And then we'll proceed to L Street after that. Okay, so there is the eastbound travel there on the left is what you're looking at. And you can see how it's just kind of not quite up to speed at this point. A lot of traffic heading through there. We'll go just a little further to the west, over to the 84th camera, see what we can see on that one. There you have a better view of the delays that are in place. Whole lot of brake lights showing up. Busy stretch in both directions, but it's eastbound where those delays are showing up. Like I've been saying, no reports with any of these delays of any crashes at this point. It's just looking like we just have a lot of people on the roads at this point. There's a little bit of a better view of what we've got in both directions. And now I think we'll head a little further to the west. We'll check out what's going on I-80 around L. This is the other area where delays were showing up just a couple of minutes ago. Let's look at the traffic through that stretch. And it is quite slow. I'm gonna pop around on a couple of different cameras here, and we'll see if we can find the cause of those delays as you're approaching that 680 interchange. That's a little slower than we're normally seeing at this point in that area. Leads me to believe that there's something going on that's causing that. Doesn't look as slow as you're getting a little further to the north into the 680 interchange. So likely our issue is around I Street, maybe between there and L Street, with why things are so slow as you are heading eastbound. All right, I'm going to take us back to our map, and I'm going to investigate the area around 192nd and Blondo. Sounds like we may have some slowing or an issue in that area, so it would be right around this area. Does definitely look slow. Right around Old Lincoln Highway, Blondo, so definitely some issues there. Watch for a potential problem and be ready for those slowdowns. All right, so a couple of other areas where we've been watching some delays. This is 204th in your Pacific. You can see how things are still pretty slow there as you are making your way on Blue Sage Parkway, around Blue Sage Parkway, I should say. And then also around the intersection of 36th and Highway 370, some delays right near that intersection. It doesn't look like those are stretching too far away from that immediate area. And then, of course, 72nd and L. We've got a lot of delays that are showing up as you're making your way northbound with those new restrictions. You can see how much things are flaring up in both directions on 72nd. People are looking for an alternate route, obviously, because 84th is now slowing quite a bit around Q Street. So this is where my advice would be to maybe consider using 96th. That gives you another option to go northbound, southbound, try to spread some of that traffic out. Otherwise, we've just got a few different pockets where we've got heavy traffic going on right now. Dodge as you're going eastbound around 156 to 168th. Dodge as you're approaching 90th as well. And you can kind of see some of the specks of orange that are showing up here and there. So check one more time here if we have any other reports of any kind of crashes or issues. Mainly just seems like we have a lot of people who are making their way around in the metro early this morning. I am going to keep a close eye on this stretch here, though, on I-80. I still think we have something going on, although I'm not getting any reports of any crashes or anything. This is some pretty unusual slowing that's showing up as you're approaching about I Street and then heading back toward Giles. So watch that area as one where you may run into something that's causing those delays. As I get more information, of course, I'll keep you posted. We're going to wrap up the stream, though, and I'll be going to get ready for our live cut-in on First Alert 6, and I'll have an update there on what I've found out and what I'm tracking. You can always follow all the latest updates on our First Alert 6 traffic blog on our website, firstalert6.com, and we always post all kinds of crash information, anything else that's impacting travel on there. I appreciate you joining me for this, and hopefully you have a great rest of your day. And if you're going to be traveling, that you have a smooth commute, and watch for that weather later today. It is the First Alert 6 weather day.